I stand before you today to unveil a transformative principle that has the potential to revolutionize your existence in ways you may have never fathomed. This profound truth lies at the core of conscious creation, a concept so potent that it can reshape your entire reality if fully embraced and applied. I speak to you about the extraordinary power of embodying the state of your desired outcome. Listen attentively, for what I'm about to share transcends mere positive thinking or hollow affirmations. This is a fundamental law of consciousness, a principle that governs the very fabric of reality itself. When I urge you to embody your desired state, I'm inviting you to enter a state of being that transcends your current circumstances, aligning you with the very essence of your aspirations. Consider, for a moment, the nature of your consciousness. It is the sole reality. All that you perceive, experience, and call life is but an outpicturing of your states of consciousness. The world you see is a mirror, reflecting back to you the contents of your own mind. Herein lies the key to unlocking the treasure trove of your desires. By assuming the state of consciousness of already possessing what you want, you set in motion the forces that will bring it into your physical reality. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. When you embody the state of already having what you want, you're not engaged in pretense or deception. Far from it. You're aligning yourself with a higher truth, one that exists beyond the limitations of your current physical circumstances. You're tapping into the creative power of your imagination, the very same power that shapes worlds and molds reality to its will. Imagine, if you will, a painter standing before a blank canvas. The painting exists first in the mind of the artist, does it not? It is conceived in imagination before it is ever brought forth into physical form. Your life is no different. It is a canvas upon which you paint with the brush of your consciousness. Just as the artist must see the finished painting in his mind's eye before he can bring it to life on canvas, so too must you see and feel the reality of your desires in your imagination before they can manifest in your world. But here is where many falter. They look to their current circumstances, their bank accounts, their relationships, their physical bodies, and they say, "How can I embody the state of what I want when my reality shows me otherwise?" This, my dear audience, is the great test of faith. It is the challenge that separates those who truly understand this law from those who merely dabble in it. You see, your senses, your reason, your very eyes will all conspire to keep you bound to your current reality. They will shout at you, telling you that what you desire is impossible, that you are foolish for even considering it. But I say to you now, with all the conviction of my being, that your senses are liars. They show you only the fruits of past thoughts and beliefs. They cannot and will not show you what is possible, what is coming, what you are in the process of creating through your new assumption. To embody your desired state, then, requires a bold leap of faith. It demands that you turn your back on the evidence of your senses and instead clothe yourself in the reality of your desire. It asks you to feel the naturalness of having what you want, to experience the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your wish fulfilled, not as a future event, but as a present fact. Let me illustrate this principle with a simple example. Suppose you desire financial abundance, yet your current bank balance tells a different story. The world would have you believe that you must first see the money before you can feel wealthy. But I tell you, this is backwards. You must first feel the wealth, embody the state of being financially abundant, before the outer world can reflect this new state back to you. How would you walk if you were financially abundant? How would you talk? How would you think and feel about money? Would you worry about bills, or would you move through the world with a sense of ease and confidence, knowing that you always have more than enough? This, my dear audience, is what it means to embody your desired state. It is to so fully embody the state of your wish fulfilled that it becomes your new normal, your new natural way of being. Now, some of you may be thinking, but isn't this just self-deception? Aren't we lying to ourselves? To this, I say emphatically no. For you see, when you embody your desired state, you are not denying your current reality. You are simply choosing to put your attention and your energy on a different, preferred state. You are exercising your God-given power to choose the contents of your consciousness. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. What you are conscious of, you are. By deliberately assuming the consciousness of having what you desire, you are aligning yourself with the creative forces of the universe. You are, in essence, placing an order with the cosmic catalog of infinite possibilities. But here is where many stumble. They try to embody their desired state for a day, a week, perhaps even a month, and when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They return to their old states of consciousness, their old patterns of thought and feeling, and then wonder why nothing has changed. My dear audience, persistence is key. You must persist in your new assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it like this: your current reality, the one you see with your physical eyes, is like a large ship on the ocean. It has momentum, it has mass, and it doesn't turn on a dime. When you begin to embody your desired state, when you assume a new state of consciousness, you are like the captain of this ship turning the wheel to change course. At first, the change is imperceptible. The vast body of the ship seems to continue on its previous course. But if you persist, if you hold steady to your new direction, gradually, inevitably, the ship will turn. Your reality will shift to match your new assumption. This is why faith is so crucial. Not blind faith, not a mere hoping for the best, but a deep, unshakable knowing that what you have assumed in your imagination must come to pass in your outer world. It is the faith that moves mountains, the faith that says to this mountain, "Be thou removed and cast into the sea," and doubts not in his heart, but believes that those things which he said shall come to pass. Now, let us explore further how to effectively embody your desired state. It begins with your inner conversations. The conversations you have with yourself and with others in your imagination are the cornerstone of your assumption. If you truly had what you desire, how would you talk to yourself? What would your inner dialogue be like? Would you still be filled with doubt and worry, or would you walk in quiet confidence, secure in the knowledge that all is well? Moreover, how would you speak to others? If you desired a loving relationship and were embodying the state of already being in one, would you speak of loneliness and past hurts, or would your words be filled with love, with joy, with the warmth of companionship? Your words, both inner and outer, are powerful creators. They are the scaffolding upon which you build your new reality. But words alone are not enough. To truly embody your desired state, you must engage all your senses. You must see it, hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it in your imagination. Make your imaginal act as vivid and as real as possible. If you desire a new home, walk through it in your mind. Feel the texture of the walls, smell the fresh paint, hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the rooms. Make it so real that when you open your eyes, it is your present reality that seems like the dream. This, my dear audience, is the true art of embodying your desired state. It is not about pretending or putting on an act for others. It is about so fully embodying the state of your wish fulfilled that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. It is about living from the end, experiencing the joy and satisfaction of your desire as a present fact rather than a future possibility. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but what about action? Don't we need to do something in the physical world to bring about our desires? And to this, I say yes, action is important. But it is inspired action that springs naturally from your new state of being. When you truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally drawn to take the right actions, to be in the right place at the right time, to say the right words to the right people. You see, the outer world is constantly rearranging itself to reflect your inner assumptions. As you persist in your new state, opportunities will present themselves, doors will open, and the path to the manifestation of your desire will unfold before you. But remember, the doing flows from the being. First, you must be the person who is what you desire. The actions will then naturally align with this new state of being. Let me share with you a personal anecdote that illustrates this principle. Many years ago, I desired to be a successful author and lecturer, sharing these truths with the world. At the time, I was unknown, with no platform and no connections in the publishing world. But instead of focusing on these seeming limitations, I began to embody the state of already being a successful author and speaker. In my imagination, I saw myself standing before large audiences, sharing these principles. I felt the satisfaction of holding my published books in my hands. I heard the applause, felt the handshakes of those whose lives had been transformed by these teachings. I lived in this state day and night, persisting despite all contrary evidence in my outer world. And you know what happened? Opportunities began to present themselves. I was invited to give a small talk, which led to larger engagements. I met someone who introduced me to a publisher. My first book was published, then another, and another. The very reality I had assumed in my imagination gradually became my outer world experience. But here's the crucial point: I didn't wait for these outer circumstances to change before I assumed the state of being a successful author and lecturer. I assumed it first, I lived from that state, and the outer reality reshaped itself to match my inner assumption. This, my dear audience, is the power that is yours to wield. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a creative being. You have within you the power to assume any state you desire, and by your assumption, to bring it into manifestation. But I must warn you, this power comes with great responsibility. For you see, you are always embodying a state, every moment of every day. You are always assuming a state. The question is, are you assuming it consciously, deliberately choosing the state that aligns with your desires? Or are you allowing your state to be dictated by your circumstances, your past experiences, your fears and doubts? The choice is yours, and it is a choice you make moment by moment, day by day. Will you continue to embody the state of your limitations being real, as if your past defines your future? Or will you dare to embody the state of the person you aspire to be, as if you already have what you desire? I challenge you now to choose a desire, something you truly want to be, do, or have. It could be anything: a new job, a loving relationship, perfect health, financial abundance. Whatever it is, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine what it would feel like to already have it. Don't just think about it, feel it. Experience it with all your senses. How would you walk if this desire were already fulfilled? How would you talk? How would you think and feel about yourself and the world around you? Let this feeling permeate every fiber of your being. Let it inform every thought, every word, every action. Now, open your eyes and carry this feeling with you. Let it be the lens through which you view the world. When you interact with others, do so from this new state of consciousness. When you go about your daily activities, do so as the person who already has what you desire. Yes, your outer world may not yet reflect this new state. Your bank account may still show the same balance, your body may still carry those extra pounds, your dream job may still seem out of reach. But remember, these are just shadows, reflections of past states of consciousness. They have no power over your new assumption unless you give it to them. Your task now is to persist in this new state, to nurture it, to feed it with your attention and your belief. When doubts arise, and they will gently bring your attention back to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When your senses scream that what you are assuming isn't true, smile to yourself, knowing that they can only show you what has been, not what is coming. This persistence, this faithfulness to your assumption, is what distinguishes the master from the novice. Anyone can assume a state for a moment, or even for a day. But to hold on to that assumption in the face of contradictory evidence, to sleep in that state night after night, to live and move and have your being in that state, this is the mark of true mastery. And make no mistake, my dear audience, this is not always easy. The world will challenge your new assumption. People may question you, circumstances may seem to conspire against you. But remember, these are all part of the bridge of incidents, the events that must transpire to bring your assumption into physical reality. Your job is not to figure out how your desire will manifest. Your job is simply to persist in the assumption that it already has. The how is not your concern. The infinite intelligence that brings a seed to fruition, that orchestrates the movements of the planets, that breathes life into every living thing, this same intelligence will bring your assumption to pass in ways that you cannot even imagine. As you go about your day, living from this new state, you may find that your perception of the world begins to change. Things that once seemed like obstacles may now appear as opportunities. People who once seemed indifferent may suddenly become helpful allies. This is not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. You are seeing through new eyes, the eyes of the person who already has what you desire. Remember, the outer world is plastic and malleable to your consciousness. It is constantly reshaping itself to reflect your inner states. By embodying the state of already having what you want, you are impressing upon the subconscious mind a new concept of self. And your subconscious mind, being impersonal and non-selective, will work tirelessly to bring this new concept into manifestation. But here's a crucial point that many miss: you must feel the naturalness of your new state. It's not enough to simply affirm it or visualize it. You must feel it as a present fact, as something so natural and so much a part of you that its absence would seem strange. Think about something you already have and value, perhaps your ability to read, or your proficiency in your profession, or a cherished relationship. You don't go around constantly affirming these things, do you? No, you simply know that they are part of your reality. This is the feeling you must capture and apply to your desire. When you can feel this level of naturalness about your desire, when it feels more real to you than the evidence of your physical senses, then you have truly mastered the art of embodying your desired state. At this point, the manifestation of your desire is a foregone conclusion. It must come to pass, for you have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe itself. Now, I want to address a common misconception about embodying your desired state. Some believe that it means you must constantly think about your desire, that you must force yourself to feel positive all the time. This is not the case. In fact, such constant effort can create tension and resistance, which can actually push your desire away. Instead, think of embodying your desired state as a gentle knowing, a quiet confidence that permeates your being. It's not about forcing anything. It's about relaxing into the state of the wish fulfilled, allowing it to become your new normal. When you truly assume a state, you don't have to constantly think about it, any more than you constantly think about being able to read or write. This relaxed confidence is the hallmark of true faith. It's not a tense, desperate clinging to a hope, but a calm assurance that what is yours in consciousness must inevitably express itself in your outer world. This is the faith that can move mountains, the faith that makes all things possible. As you practice embodying your desired state, you may find that your entire perspective on life begins to shift. You'll start to see the world not as a fixed, unyielding reality, but as a flexible, responsive mirror of your own consciousness. You'll begin to understand that you are not a helpless victim of circumstances, but a powerful creator of your own experience. This shift in perspective is perhaps the greatest gift of embodying your desired state. For when you truly understand and apply this principle, you free yourself from the tyranny of external conditions. You no longer need to wait for the right circumstances to feel the way you want to feel, to be the person you want to be. You can assume that state now, in this very moment, regardless of what your outer world looks like. And here's the beautiful paradox: when you no longer need the outer world to change in order to feel the way you want to feel, that's when the outer world begins to change. When you no longer desperately seek love, that's when love finds you. When you no longer anxiously pursue wealth, that's when abundance flows into your life. When you no longer strive and struggle to become something, that's when you naturally evolve into that very thing. This is the true freedom that comes from mastering the art of embodying your desired state. It's the freedom to choose your state of being regardless of external circumstances. It's the freedom to live from the end, to experience the joy and fulfillment of your desires now, not in some far-off future. As we near the conclusion of our discourse, I want to leave you with a powerful exercise, a way to integrate this principle of embodying your desired state into your daily life. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, I want you to enter your imagination. See yourself as the person who already has what you desire. Feel it, experience it in vivid sensory detail.